Hello everyone, welcome to Ra's Prominent Commerce classes. Today we are studying a concept from the subject OC and the concept name is bank and its type. So let's know about bank and then later on we will complete the types of bank that we have. So to start with bank, let's start with the meaning of the bank. Well, bank is a financial institution which deals in accepting deposit and granting loan. It provides financial and non-financial services to the clients. Well, it helps to mobilize the money in an economy. But to know more about bank, let's go and know the history of the bank, how it came to existence. Well, bank history dated since 17th century. That is 17th century, the bank started giving its financial services. But earlier, it only used to provide lending services. That means the one who has excess money with them, they used to provide money to the one who are in need. Then later on, it added services. Well, the bank word came from a French word that is banco, which means bench. That means through bench, the people started providing financial services, that is the lending services to the people. 17th सेंचुरी में लोग जिनके पास ज्यादा पैसा था वो लोग बेंच के थ्रू ही क्या करते थे, लेंडिंग दैट इज लोन देने का काम करते थे. धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे लोगों का एक्सपेक्टेशन बढ़ने लगा ऐसे सर्विसेज से, तो धीरे धीरे हमने बैंक्स में और भी सर्विसेज ऐड करते गए. एक्सेप्टिंग डिपॉजिट और ग्रांटिंग लोन्स, ये था बेसिक फंक्शन हर बैंक का, जिस पर बैंक ने भी बहुत ज्यादा फोकस किया और अपने कस्टमर्स के लिए क्या करने लगा, सर्विसेज देने लगा. एक्सपेक्टेशंस बढ़ा, सर्विसेज धीरे धीरे ऐड होते गए. एंड इसीलिए हम ऐसा भी बोलते हैं कि एक बैंक जो है एक इकोनॉमी का लाइफलाइन है, लाइफ ब्लड है, जिसके बिना एक इकोनॉमी प्रॉपर तरीके से ऑपरेट बिल्कुल भी नहीं कर पाएगा. इसीलिए बैंक को आज भी हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस देते हैं, क्योंकि ये पूरा का पूरा पैसे को मोबिलाइज करता है. मोबिलाइज मींस दैट इज एक इकोनॉमी में मनी को सर्कुलेट करने वाला जो इंस्टीट्यूट है वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ बैंक है. ये फाइनेंशियल एज वेल एज नॉन फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज भी प्रोवाइड करता है. उसके लिए हम लोग फंक्शंस ऑफ अ बैंक को रेफर करना पड़ेगा, जो हम लोग आगे देखेंगे. फिलहाल हम लोग बैंक के ऊपर ही फोकस करेंगे एंड टाइप्स ऑफ बैंक के ऊपर हम लोग ध्यान देंगे. बैंक स्मूथली ऑपरेट करने के लिए इकोनॉमी के अंदर हमें कुछ रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस चाहिए, कुछ प्रोविजंस चाहिए, जिसके लिए हमने एक एक्ट दैट इज एक कानून को हम लोग ने बनाया. वो कानून का नाम है द बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन एक्ट 1949. ये एक्ट ने पूरा का पूरा डिफाइन किया है कि एक बैंक क्या है और एक बैंकिंग कंपनी क्या है, क्या क्या सर्विसेज ऐड होता है बैंक के अंडर में. सो चलिए हम चलते हैं बैंक और बैंकिंग का डेफिनेशन की तरफ. फर्स्ट हम लोग एक बैंकिंग कंपनी के बारे में जानते हैं कि ये एक्ट बैंकिंग कंपनी को डिफाइन कैसे करता है. एनी कंपनी विच डील्स और विच ट्रांजैक्ट इन फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज इज नोन एज बैंकिंग कंपनी. दैट मीन्स वो हर कंपनी जो भी फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज में डील करता है उसे हम क्या बोलते हैं, बैंकिंग कंपनी. तो फिर बैंकिंग क्या है, एक्सेप्टिंग फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ लेंडिंग और इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफ मनी ऑफ डिपॉजिट फ्रॉम पीपल रिपेबल ऑन डिमांड. ये डेफिनेशन है जिसका मीनिंग होता है डिपॉजिट्स हम एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं, बट किस पर्पस के लिए, दो पर्पस के लिए. या तो हम उसमें इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं या तो फिर हमें उन्हीं डिपॉजिट्स को एज अ लोन हम क्या कर रहे हैं, लोगों को दे रहे हैं. ये दो पर्पस के लिए हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, लोगों से डिपॉजिट्स को हम लोग एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं. बट यही पैसा जब जब कस्टमर ऑर्डर देगा उसे विड्रॉ करना है, अलग अलग फॉर्म में वो क्या कर सकता है, विड्रॉ कर सकता है. और बैंक को कस्टमर के ऑर्डर पे ही क्या करना होगा, विड्रॉल करके उसे देना पड़ेगा. ये था बैंक एंड बैंकिंग कंपनी. तो पूरे का पूरा डेफिनेशन के हिसाब से जाएगा तो बैंक का बेसिक फंक्शन हाईलाइट होता है, और वो फंक्शन क्या था, एक्सेप्टिंग डिपॉजिट एंड ग्रांटिंग लोन्स. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द टाइप्स ऑफ बैंक. The first type of bank is central bank, the apex bank. Every country has got its own central bank, which helps to manage the monetary system of the country. It takes a very vital decisions and important decisions, even if it's a recession time or if it is a prosperous time. But the central bank makes sure that the monetary system is managed efficiently. Well, for India, the central bank is the Reserve Bank of India. It was set up in the year 1945 through an act by RBI Act 1944. The RBI has got certain function, like it frames monetary policy, What do you mean by monetary policy? Monetary policy is a policy through which the bank controls the entire money circulation in an economy. If it is inflation, it will control. If it is deflation, then also it will control through certain elements such as CRR, SLR, repo rate and reverse repo rate. But this policy will help us to control the value of the money. It comes twice in a year, and the RBI introduces such policy whenever it is required in the economy. Also, it acts as a government's bank. What do you mean by this? Government's account is with the central bank. That means every receipt and payment of the government is done through the central bank. It also issues the currency note. That means it has got the sole authority to issue the currency note. No other bank has got the right to print and issue the currency note in a country. In India, RBI prints and issues and circulates the currency notes in India. Also, RBI acts as banker's bank. जैसे कि हमें बैंकिंग सर्विसेज मिलता है कमर्शियल बैंक या और कोई बैंक से, वैसे ही बैंकों को बैंकिंग सर्विसेज मिलता है सेंट्रल बैंक से. डिपॉजिट्स हो या लोन, अगर बैंक को कोई भी सर्विसेज का जरूरत पड़े बैंकिंग सर्विसेज का, तो वो सेंट्रल बैंक की तरफ अप्रोच कर सकता है. That means every central bank has various functions to do, but few functions where it frames monetary policy, it acts as a government's bank, it issues currency note, and also it acts as a banker's bank. Various other functions are there, but it plays very silently and manages the monetary system of the country. The next type of bank is commercial bank. A bank which provides services, but in return it expects profits. So, client को हर banking services, that is financial हो या non financial हो, clients को services कौन provide करता है? Commercial bank. सेंट्रल बैंक क्लाइंट्स के साथ डील नहीं कर सकता है, इसीलिए हमने कमर्शियल बैंक को एस्टैब्लिश किया है. कमर्शियल बैंक सोशल एज वेल एज फाइनेंशियल डीलिंग्स में इन्वॉल्व है. हम देखते हैं अभी टाइप्स ऑफ कमर्शियल बैंक. 3 टाइप ऑफ कमर्शियल बैंक है. पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक, जो कि इन्वेस्टमेंट कौन किया है? गवर्नमेंट ने किया है. तो ऐसा हर बैंक जिसमें गवर्नमेंट का इन्वेस्टमेंट है, उस बैंक को हम बोलेंगे पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक. एग्जाम्पल के लिए स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एक पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक है जिसमें गवर्नमेंट का भी इन्वेस्टमेंट है एंड जनरल पीपल का भी इन्वेस्टमेंट है. दूसरा टाइप ऑफ कमर्शियल बैंक है प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक, जिसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट किसका है? प्राइवेट इंडिविजुअल्स का. गवर्नमेंट का इसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं होता है, इसीलिए इस बैंक को हमने नाम क्या दे दिया? प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक. एग्जाम्पल है एक्सिस बैंक. एक्सिस बैंक एक ऐसा कमर्शियल प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक है जिसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट सिर्फ और सिर्फ प्राइवेट इंडिविजुअल्स का ही है. दैट मीन्स नो गवर्नमेंट इज एसोसिएटेड फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट इन प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक. नेक्स्ट टाइप ऑफ कमर्शियल बैंक इज फॉरेन बैंक. एक ऐसा बैंक जो फॉरेन कंट्रीज में रजिस्टर्ड एंड एस्टैब्लिश्ड है, बट उनके ब्रांचेस अलग अलग कंट्री में ओपन हो चुके हैं एंड बैंकिंग सर्विसेज अलग अलग कंट्री में एक्सपांड कर चुके हैं. ये हर बैंकिंग सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करता है, बट अलग अलग कंट्रीज में अपने सर्विसेज को एक्सपांड करके. कुछ एग्जांपल है फॉरेन बैंक के: सिटी बैंक, HSBC बैंक. ये फॉरेन में एस्टैब्लिश्ड है, बट अपने बिजनेसेस अपने ब्रांचेस के थ्रू एक्सपांड करते गए हैं. तो ये थे कमर्शियल बैंक. Now let's talk about the cooperative banks. The banks which are registered under the Indian Cooperative Societies Act and follows the provision of Banking Regulation Act 1949. It is famous in semi-urban and rural areas. It gives the financial and banking services to the artisans, farmers and to the small business units. Well, the cooperative banks operates at 3 levels. The first level is the primary credit cooperative bank. It is established at the village level and provides the banking services to the people. It accepts deposit and even grant loans to the farmers, artisans and also to the business units. Well, we can take an example of Ambernath Jai Hind Bank as a primary credit cooperative bank. Well, there is a financial assistance given by the district central bank and also by the state cooperative banks to the primary credit cooperative banks. Moving ahead, the next type of cooperative bank is district central cooperative bank, working at district level and providing the services to the people of districts. Well, we can take an example of district central bank as Thane Jilla Sehkari Bank. It provides financial assistance to the primary credit cooperative banks and get a financial assistance from the state cooperative banks. Example is the Thane Jilla Sehkari Bank. Now the next level of the cooperative bank is the state cooperative bank. It operates in every state and makes sure it regulates each and every cooperative bank working at the village level and also at the district level. It provides financial assistance to the district central cooperative bank and primary credit cooperative bank. Well, some other function of Industrial Development Bank is to purchase the debenture and bonds of the company. What are debentures or bonds? Well, these are a debt instrument which a company may issue to get a temporary finance for the company. And such banks will buy the debenture and bonds of the company to provide capital for a temporary time period. The next type of bank is the exchange bank. Well, such banks help us to involve in international forex transaction. Forex transaction stands for foreign exchange transaction. Such banks helps in financing the international trade, that is import as well as for export. Some of the function of exchange banks are providing financial assistance to both importer as well as exporter to complete the international trade. Well, some other functions of such bank is by providing letter of credit. What is letter of credit? An instrument which is provided by importers bank to the exporters bank to initiate the international trade. Sometimes exporter may not initiate the transaction due to lack of trust. Then letter of credit plays a very important role which is sent by the importers bank to the exporters bank as an assurity of payment from the importer side to the exporter. Well, letter of credit helps in completing the international trade. Other functions of the exchange bank is discounting the bills of exchange. Well, bills of exchange is the negotiable instrument which can help us to complete a trade which is done on credit basis. Let's take an example. If an exporter has sold the goods to the importer on credit basis, for a safer side, the exporter may draw a bill on the importer. Over here, two parties are involved, drawer as well as drawee. Drawer is the seller and drawee is the buyer. If, for example, the bill's tenure is 2 months and suddenly our drawer requires funds in mid of the tenure, then the bill can be discounted by the exporter's bank at an amount deducted as a commission or as a charge, and the remaining amount of the bill will be given to the exporter. On the maturity date, the bank will collect the entire amount from the importer. अगला हमारा पॉइंट है RRB, जिसका फुल फॉर्म है रीजनल रूरल बैंक. ये एस्टैब्लिश हुआ था 1975 में और इस बैंक को एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए हमें एक स्पॉन्सर्ड बैंक का जरूरत होता है. इस बैंक का इनिशिएटिव से ही एक आरआरबी को हम लोग एस्टैब्लिश कर सकते हैं. आरआरबी का जो इन्वेस्टमेंट्स है वो कुछ इस तरीके से है. सेंट्रल बैंक 50% इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोवाइड करेगा, 15% स्टेट गवर्नमेंट देगा एंड 35% स्पॉन्सर्ड बैंक देगा. अब ये स्पॉन्सर्ड बैंक होता कौन है? ये ऐसे पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक है जो ज्यादा करके इन्वेस्टमेंट्स करते हैं आरआरबीज में, जो इन आरआरबीज को क्या करेगा, रेगुलेट एज वेल एज इनको ऑपरेट करने में हेल्प करेगा. आरआरबीज ज्यादा करके सेमी अर्बन और रूरल एरियाज में होते हैं. ये माइग्रेंट फार्मर्स एज वेल एज एग्रीकल्चरल लेबरर्स को फंड्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं. रूरल आर्टिशंस को भी आरआरबी क्या करता है, फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस प्रोवाइड करता है. तो ओवरऑल आरआरबी एक ऐसा बैंक है जो रूरल एरियाज को हेल्प करता है फाइनेंशियली एज वेल एज उनको हेल्प करता है बिजनेसेस को एक्सपांड करने बाय प्रोवाइडिंग बैंकिंग सर्विसेज. नेक्स्ट टाइप ऑफ बैंक इज सेविंग बैंक. A bank which encourages the saving habit amongst the people, especially the people who belongs from the rural areas. So to develop such banks, the government has also allowed commercial banks and cooperative banks to start with the saving banks. To elaborate it more, the Indian government has also taken the initiative to add such banking services to the Indian postal services, because the Indian post offices are spread to the interiors of the nation. So, by providing such services, they can reach to the rural people of India. The next type of bank is investment bank. Well, investment banks have a client base of exclusively only the business units and the industrial units. They don't deal with the individuals. They provide financial assistance and also provide advices regarding their business activities. What do you mean by advices? The advices can be meant as whether to take over a company or whether to merge with a company. What do you mean by take over with a company? That means if a company wants to buy another company, so such banks will advise the companies whether to go ahead with the deal or not. or at what price the deal should be carried forward. What do you mean by merger? Merger means if a company wants to mingle up with another company and operate in the market, such form of business is known as merger. That means when two companies come together and operate the business is known as merger. So investment banks will help the companies to whether these banks should go for a merger or should go for a takeover. Also advising such companies where to invest and how much to invest. So this is investment bank. Various banks were considered as investment bank. The last type of bank is specialized bank. Well, such banks were established by the government for a special purpose to complete certain targets. The first type of specialized bank is Exim Bank. Exim stands for Export-Import Bank. Well, this bank was established by the government to support financially to the exporters and to the importers to complete the foreign trade. It can be by providing pre-shipment finance and post-shipment finance to the exporters and importers. Well, it will help the balance of payment as well as to improve the GDP, that is gross domestic product. Well, moving ahead, the next specialized bank is SIDBI, which stands for Small Industrial Development Bank of India. It was set up on 2nd April 1990 to support the small scale business units, or I can say as MSMEs, that is micro, small and medium enterprises. They were supporting financially and providing medium and long-term finances to the people in the rural areas who were running the small scale units. Also to the cottage industries and to the small scale businesses who were running in the rural areas and supporting to the Indian economy. It will help to improve the GDP of the economy. The last type of specialized bank is NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. The Apex Bank for providing finance to the agriculture and to the rural sector. Well, it was providing financial assistance through RRBs, that is Regional Rural Banks. It was not dealing with any individual. It was only dealing with the financial institutions which were providing the financial assistance to the farmers or to the agriculture. Well, these were providing funds to the banks and the banks were providing funds to the farmers and to the agricultural, also to the small scale business units that were located in the rural areas. This was the various types of bank we have in our country. But due to various economic trends, we have introduced the new models of banking in our monetary systems. Let's start with the first type of new model of banking. The first one is Small Finance Bank. Well, such banks were established to provide the basic banking services to the people who are not able to get the basic function of banking from the commercial banks and from the cooperative banks. So, such banks are considered as public limited company under private sector, which are registered under the Indian Companies Act following the provisions of RBI Act 1934 and also by following the provisions of Banking Regulation Act 1949. The other model of banking which we have introduced is the payment banks. Well, payment banks are focusing to promote more banking services in small scale units because small scale units are not using the banking services. So to promote the banking services, we have introduced the payment banks. As we can see, many of the transactions done by the citizens are through the UPI payments. That means if we visit some small scale business units, we are often paying the entire amount through a UPI app. It can be Paytm, it can be a Google Pay. So hence, such banks were introduced and it was a big success in the Indian economy. The first payment bank was introduced in March 2017 and the first payment bank was Airtel Payment Bank. Such banks cannot accept deposits more than 1 lakh of rupees and such bank accounts cannot get a credit card facility or a loan facility. So if you are a customer of a payment bank, you cannot access to the credit cards from such banks and even you cannot get a loan from such banks. Only deposits and payment services are rendered from such banks to your clients. So this was all about bank and its various types. Also about the recent trends that we have seen in our banking system. Well, I hope this video was informative for you. Thank you.